CTV News with Ricardo Veneza.
You're done.
Excuse me,
Next election. You're done, and you're done.
From vows to vitriol and a verbal volley in council chambers tonight, a former Essex mayor storms out of a meeting in a small-town showdown over a wedding venue that's hit another snag. Good evening. We'll have more on that contentious meeting in Essex tonight in just a moment. But first, to a major announcement for the future of the new acute care hospital serving Windsor and Essex County. Now, CTV's Stephanie Mazzotti tells us it has a new name following a multi-million-dollar donation.
I didn't realize I looked up to him more than anybody.
It was a shock to the whole family.
With dying suddenly, as he did, it really put a hole in our family.
Large person, large heart.
My brother had the biggest passion for wine. He was the winemaker of Viewpoint.
He was a very loving parent to his dogs.
In his will, John Thomas Fancy left his estate to the new Windsor Essex Acute Care Hospital.
It's such a significant gift. It is breathtaking.
A gift worth an estimated $40 million. The Fancy family, along with Premier Doug Ford, Minister of Health Sylvia Jones, and local dignitaries, raised a glass to his life and legacy. That legacy soon to be permanently on display at the new multi-billion-dollar hospital. Moving forward, it will be referred to as the Fancy Family Hospital.
It speaks volumes to get a gift of this magnitude.
This donation is the largest ever received by the Windsor Regional Hospital Foundation.
Sometimes a lot of gifts are spread out over, say, a decade. This money's coming to the hospital now, so while we're doing the design and finishing the design and start building, we can even earn interest off this money.
Stephanie Mazzotti, CTV News.
Well, Premier Doug Ford's trip to the Rose City, as you saw there, also came with a housing check for more than $5 million. As our Sanjay Maru reports, it's part of a program meant to incentivize municipalities to help the province reach its increasingly out-of-reach goal of 1.5 million new homes by 2031.
Premier Doug Ford visiting Windsor City Hall to deliver a $5.2 million check from the Building Faster Fund, a reward for the city achieving 213% of its 2024 housing target with more than 2,300 housing starts last year.
Matter of fact, I have to tell you, I've never seen anyone achieving 213%. So you're the Ontario champs.
The money is unlocked when municipalities hit at least 80% of their annual provincial housing target with a bonus for exceeding it. But how exactly will that money be used?
The focus is on infrastructure supports for additional housing and growth within communities. Things like roads, sewers, infrastructure that's required for additional housing growth.
Last year, Windsor missed out on these provincial funds after falling short of its 2023 target. City officials say a switch to a new permit system meant key data went unreported to the CMHC, but those units were later counted in 2024.
And that's why we exceeded our bonus. And that's why we got extra money above and beyond what we would have received.
Mayor Drew Dilkin says the city's housing performance last year was strong across multiple categories.
In 2024, Windsor's housing achievements included 2,306 housing starts total, including 1,251 housing starts, 466 additional residential units, and 589 post-secondary beds.
While Windsor is celebrating these provincial funds, city leaders did lose out on tens of millions in potential federal cash last year after rejecting a requirement in the Housing Accelerator Fund to allow fourplex zoning as of right. Premier Ford making clear today he supports Windsor's decision.
Stay strong with that, because I'll tell you, the people do not want that in their neighborhoods.
Sanjay Maru, CTV News.
And still ahead, a federal minister is shedding new light on what may be the first of the Carney government's nation-building projects to get the green light and turn Canada into an energy superpower. Now to Essex, and after weeks of public meetings and council debate, the fate of a proposed wedding venue in the Harrow area is still up in the air. Tonight, councillors spent hours discussing the plan, but walked away without a decision after a fiery exchange in council chambers. CTV's Travis Fortnum was there and brings us the very latest tonight. Travis, what happened?
Ricardo, this has been a hot topic in Essex all summer, and it did not cool down tonight. Here's what happened when former Mayor Larry Snively, sitting in the gallery, decided he'd heard enough.
You're done. And you're next election. You're done, and you're done.
Snively, clearly frustrated, walked out of the chambers, pointing at councillors who opposed the failed motion for first and second reading to approve the needed zoning, saying they're done next election. Mayor Sherry Bondi says the town will look at possible legal options after what some saw as a threatening comment. It's just the latest sign of how heated this issue has become. After that outburst and a closed-door session for legal advice, council tabled the item, meaning they've shelved it for now. Bondi acknowledges that's going to frustrate more than just Snively.
I think we're all frustrated. I think we're, and the thing is the proponents have been operating for a couple years already, so it's not like they haven't been operating, so there's probably more to come on this file. Stay tuned. I don't know exactly when, but I don't think the song is over.
I'm disappointed. I think it's disappointing. For the proponent themselves, they now have to go and appeal to the OLT to get a decision. It was a simple process. We could have made a decision tonight.
Bondi says to her knowledge, Essex Council has never been deadlocked like this before. The proposal is now off the agenda until a councillor moves to bring it back. If that doesn't happen by September 16th, the property owners can take their case to the Ontario Land Tribunal, which has the power to make this call. And tonight, Ricardo, those property owners declined to comment.
Okay, yeah, fireworks in Essex tonight. Travis, thank you for that report. Well, an alleged incident of racism at a weekend girls' House League soccer game in Windsor is under investigation.
They're all learning, and language like this and any kind of abuse, racial slurs is not tolerated at all, nor should it be, and it needs to be dealt with.
The Windsor Soccer Club says it's aware of an incident of an alleged racial slur directed at players of a soccer game at Fort Test Track featuring players aged 7 to 9. However, the club says the testy interaction has not been the subject of a formal complaint as of yet. Well, the team coach says she intends to do just that.
Like my daughter said to me, "Mom, is there a problem that I'm black?" And when your kid says that to you, it's heartbreaking. So I was like, you know what? I'm done with this. Like, everybody round up.
Now to court in London, where closing submissions were heard in the trial of a Windsor man charged with intimidating a justice participant. 44-year-old Jason Nasser was convicted of harassment, extortion, and producing child pornography in January 2023 in connection with his actions tied to his Creeper Hunter TV platform. It was in that trial Nasser would be charged for intimidation when he told the court he knew the name of the Crown lawyer's child. The Crown argues Nasser intended to cause fear to impede his previous trial, while the defense says the Crown hasn't proven its case and that Nasser got angry because he was cut off by the judge. Now, the judge's decision in this latest trial is expected to come down tomorrow. Now, we're getting some idea of when the Carney government's touted nation-building projects may begin. Energy Minister Tim Hodgson telling CTV's Vashi Capellos natural resource projects could soon get the green light. CTV's Rachel Aiello brings us those details tonight.
I know there are buyers.
Canada's energy minister made it clear today that with multiple projects in the works and a global demand for cleaner energy, there's a market for Canadian liquefied natural gas that may help make the case for facilities to be fast-tracked through the new national projects process.
What I can tell you from the conversations that the Prime Minister has been having, the Minister of Foreign Affairs has been having, the Minister of International Trade has been having, the conversations I've been having, our allies are very interested in Canadian LNG.
A comment the natural resources sector welcomed.
More customers, more shipments, more LNG export facilities means more jobs for Canadians.
The minister said that as soon as the private sector, provincial governments, and Indigenous groups put forward projects, the federal government will start deciding which ones are in the national interest.
I would expect you would see a rolling set of announcements over the fall as different projects mature and meet the criteria.
While stating the government remains committed to its climate objectives, the minister wouldn't rule out easing federal emissions targets to move these projects forward.
The LNG emissions math is inescapable. So these projects in Canada result in significant increase in emissions. Like one project is equal to about 1 million cars.
Minister Hodgson said that he's focused on results and not how we get there, indicating the powers Cabinet now has through Bill C-5 allows him to deal with any issues that arise. Rachel Aiello, CTV News, Ottawa.
A summertime classic is set to return to Windsor with the Ouellette car cruise roaring into downtown on Friday. Hot rods, muscle cars, custom wheels, it will all be on display at the Riverfront Festival Plaza. The event revs up at 1 that afternoon before the cruise takes off for 6. The Ouellette car cruise builds on the nostalgia and history of Windsor's automotive story, and of course, that includes former CTV News anchor Jim Crichton, which he has been a fixture of this event for many years now.
People who have classics like to drive them, but a lot of people don't have the time or the resources. And with the weather we've had lately, they don't want to be out in a classic car without air conditioning on a 95 Fahrenheit day with a humidex. We understand that very well. So these cars may come out for that cruise and then be put away till the next cruise night.
Well, looking forward to that, and always great to see Jim happy and healthy. Well, after the break, Gary Archibald joins us for a look at the forecast and the heat that continues to blanket the region.
There's no sense negotiating with Windsor.
Still ahead, our Chris Campbell explains why Amherstburg is walking away from talks with the city of Windsor over the future of town policing. CTV meteorologist Gary Archibald joining us now for a check of the forecast. Gary, it was so hot outside, I bet you could crack an egg on the sidewalk and have breakfast.
Yeah. And we could still be in the heat just like that for tomorrow. It could be extended, Ricardo. Good evening, folks. Once again, this map indicative of, well, much of southern Ontario proper, painted in this fuchsia color to indicate the heat warning, the dangers of. We've been in the low 30s. Our average high for this time of the year closer to 27 for Chatham-Kent. It's closer to about 26.5 degrees Celsius. And then you factor in the humidity. Relative humidity, an indication of moisture, that is water vapor in the atmosphere. It inhibits our natural ability to perspire, hence cool down. That's why it feels so, well, tough to deal with, right? Can be oppressive. Thunderstorms, obviously a big part of the heat and humidity dynamic. Those elements coming together perfectly with a cold front being the catalyst to trigger that vertical development of clouds, and hence the showers and thunderstorms. We saw it yesterday. We also saw it this afternoon with severe thunderstorm warnings in place. Chatham-Kent around 1-2 p.m. getting into it. Through the overnight, there's still about a 30 to 40% chance of showers and or thunderstorm activity. Right now, the model's suggesting that Leamington, Pelee Island, perhaps our friends in Kingsville and Amherstburg could get hit with some of that rainfall. Sarnia really got blasted yesterday, again today, and any travels along the eastern shores of Lake Huron nearby could see upwards of 30, maybe 40 millimeters. The temperatures look like daytime highs, don't they? This the low before dawn tomorrow morning, 22 degrees Celsius, feeling like 30, mostly cloudy with a 30 to 40% chance of a shower and or thunderstorm. Speaking of thunderstorm potential, it is there. It's rated at 40% as of now. Could increase drastically tomorrow, especially in the late afternoon, early evening. We'll see a high of 30 in the afternoon around 3 o'clock. Feeling like about 38 to 40, depending on where you are across extreme southwestern Ontario. More sunshine, though, Thursday into Friday and Saturday. That 3 days of sunny weather. We'll see temperatures climb from 28 to 30 to 32 Thursday, Friday, Saturday, in that progression, that order. Sunday, clouding over and a bit cooler, 27. Finally seeing signs of cooling off and being more comfortable as we head towards next week. Monday, 25 and cloudy with a 40% chance of showers, 30% chance of showers, rather, and cloudy Tuesday, 26. Those temperatures would be more seasonal, what we would expect at this time of the year. Let's look at your weather.
Well, thank you, Gary. Canada's main stock index heating up today as well. As you can see there, the TSX climbing 146 points on the back of strength in real estate and financial sectors. The Dow and the NASDAQ also jumping up big time today after losses yesterday. The Dow up 484, while the NASDAQ climbs 297 points. The Canadian dollar also trending upwards to rest at 72.60 cents U.S. Really a marginal loss for gold at just over $5 an ounce, while oil slides 79 cents a barrel.
Start your day with the latest local news. By signing up for our newsletter, you'll get direct local content straight from CTV Windsor to your inbox, including top stories, the forecast, and videos. You can sign up at ctvnewswindsor.ca.
The town of Amherstburg won't be looking to Windsor any longer in its search for a new policing service. As our Chris Campbell reports, Council's decision to deny a key request has the town ending all talks with City Hall.
The announcement came during Monday night's council meeting. Mayor Michael Prue confirming Amherstburg is walking away from talks with Windsor Police.
There's no sense negotiating with Windsor when they are so intransigent that they won't let somebody from our town on that board.
Prue says talks ended when Windsor City Council voted against Amherstburg having a vote on any Windsor Police Board decisions.
I'm not surprised the way I have been, I wouldn't say mistreated, but the way I have been treated, you know, like just over there. You can't have copies of the agendas. You can't do this. You have to leave the room when we're discussing Amherstburg. It's just not right.
And I've already had some members reach out to me, obviously concerned, caused a little bit of stress and anxiety in people.
Windsor Police Association President Kent Rice says the decision is disheartening but not surprising. Hopeful talks can resume.
Hopefully, cooler heads and some resolution comes to fruition.
Windsor City Councillor Kieran McKenzie tells CTV News he thinks Amherstburg should have a representative on the board, but the decision is based on the province's governance rules. He says the province determines the makeup of the board.
If the rules were to change in terms of the framework of these boards by the province, because they're the governing authority, perhaps there could be opportunities to revisit that, but under the current framework, that's the circumstances of the law under which we're operating.
Amherstburg will now explore 3 other policing options: bringing back its own municipal force, partnering with LaSalle Police, or contracting the OPP.
Those are the 3 options we have left. We're still exercising those options, and so we're waiting to see how they pan out.
Windsor has been providing policing in Amherstburg since January 2019 under a 20-year deal. Earlier this year, the City of Windsor announced it would be ending that agreement due to rising costs. Chris Campbell, CTV News.
More now on an animal testing controversy at St. Joseph's Hospital in London. In Windsor today, the Premier addressed the situation, saying he'll consider new provincial legislation concerning medical testing on animals. As CTV's Rita Ismail reports, it's a move advocates will continue to push for to fill a gap in the law.
A decision to end dog testing at St. Joseph's Healthcare has animal advocates celebrating and asking what comes next.
Absolutely elated to learn that no more dogs will suffer and die in these cruel experiments at St. Joseph's.
Animal Justice, a Canadian animal law organization, says it was whistleblowers who first alerted them to what they were witnessing inside the hospital on the, quote, secret 6th floor.
What we found based on their information was dogs who were being induced with up to 3-hour heart attacks and then used in medical imaging studies and used in the same MRI machines that human patients at St. Joseph's were used in.
The fact that we are all grieving. After the news was made public last week, community outrage grew, including a protest over the weekend. And on Monday, the hospital responded. In a statement to CTV News, the hospital said the Government of Ontario is an important partner in every aspect of our work. Following consultations with the province, St. Joseph's will immediately cease research studies involving dogs. We acknowledge that this will have a significant impact on the groundbreaking research that has resulted in major strides in cardiac care and treatment.
I found out on social media, and I'm thinking, that's pretty cruel.
Speaking at an event in Windsor today, Ontario Premier Doug Ford says he intends to pass legislation making dog testing illegal in the province.
I think we just legislate it and ban it. There's no reason we need to be using poor little dogs, right, or cats or anything like that. It's just unacceptable. It's cruel. It's inhumane.
Pigs who are suffering in experiments as well, who have open wounds on their backs. And there are also rodents being used in tests at St. Joseph's. And I don't think that the public accepts any form of animal testing at a public hospital.
As for the dogs still at the facility, the Beagle Alliance, a national charity that rehomes animals from research labs, has reached out to help. Rita Ismail, CTV News.
Well, Canada isn't just getting hit by the U.S. on trade. China is now escalating its dispute with our country by targeting canola farmers. As CTV's Judy Trin reports, China has announced major anti-dumping duties in response to Ottawa's tariffs on Chinese EVs.
My farm is roughly half canola. So today is very devastating news, obviously, to me.
Andre Harp is one of 40,000 canola farmers in Canada who woke up to the news that China was imposing a 75.8% duty on the oilseed. Canola prices dropped $1 a bushel after the anti-dumping tariff was announced. More bad news for an industry contending with drought just weeks away from harvest.
Not only are we facing a yield loss, but at the same time, obviously now we're facing an income loss for whatever we do grow. So it's, right now this could be a double whammy.
In 2024, Canada exported $5 billion of canola to China. To justify its actions, China said that after conducting an investigation, it found that Canada was providing its farmers with unfair subsidies. This escalation has its roots in the former Liberal government's decision to impose tariffs on electric vehicles.
We will be introducing a 100% tariff on Chinese-made electric vehicles.
The previous government in Ottawa had done this to align its policy on China with that of Washington, but we didn't get any brownie points.
The canola industry generates more than $40 billion annually and employs 200,000 people. Saskatchewan's premier says that's bigger than the steel, aluminum, and auto industry combined.
Canola producers hit with these Chinese tariffs, I would say that they deserve the same attention by our federal government and our prime minister as we're seeing in other industries.
To improve the Canada-China trading relationship, Premier Mo says that the Prime Minister needs to meet with Chinese President Xi Jinping as soon as possible. Judy Trin, CTV News, Ottawa.
Discussion here at Windsor City Hall.
Windsor's top stories.
A major project is about to get underway.
Breaking news alerts.
Severe weather is a possibility.
And watch live.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us.
Download the CTV News app.
Texts from unknown accounts are becoming ever more common, and our Pat Foran tonight has a warning about clicking links included in those unsolicited messages and the financial pain they can bring.
Just be careful.
Christina Petrozelli of Mississauga got a link that said she had to click on it to decline a purchase. Concerned she was being scammed, she did, but it led to her being hacked and her bank account being taken over.
I clicked decline, and I guess that's where the scam was, because me clicking decline was them having access to my account.
Petrozelli was scammed out of just over $22,000. Her bank is RBC, and she was shocked to be told because she had granted the scammers access to her account, she won't be reimbursed.
I have feelings, and I have people that rely on me, and you're taking everything that I had, and I didn't do it.
A spokesperson for RBC told CTV News, "We are unable to share details. However, RBC will never ask you to download a remote access application."
I clicked the link and I updated my information. And then the next thing you know, my phone stopped working.
Christy Seymour of Oshawa also clicked on a link she thought was updating her credit card. Her phone was hacked and scammers got into her account and stole almost $29,000. She had called Wealthsimple for 3 days to block her account, but couldn't get through.
That was all of the money I've saved my entire life, and it's just gone, and they're not taking any responsibility for their part of the problem.
Wealthsimple told Seymour, your account appears to have been accessed by an individual to whom you've authorized via a phishing scam.
They're getting more and more targeted, more personalized, and more sophisticated.
Cybersecurity experts say everyone should be using dual-factor authentication to add another layer of protection and be cautious of all links you receive.
The three things that they're counting on are surprise, urgency, and that need to respond.
After CTV News contacted Wealthsimple, they reviewed Seymour's case and said, as a gesture of goodwill, we have reimbursed the losses she experienced while trying to contact our team. She was given a full refund of almost $29,000, which was great news for her. Pat Foran, CTV News.
Okay, Gary is back with a wrap of 7-day forecast. And Gary, as you outlined earlier, still lots of heat in the area and the threat of thunderstorms taking us into Wednesday.
Yes, they're tied together, those two factors, right? Heat and humidity leading to thunderstorms. We see it in the daytime, late day, afternoon into the early evening, and we should anticipate it. It's summer. Anytime we get into temperatures being above seasonal, high relative humidity, just anticipate that the late afternoon, early evening could be active in terms of showers and/or thunderstorms at this time of the year. We're going to see day 3 of the same kind of activity in the atmosphere for tomorrow. 30, by the way, feels like 38. Sunny and still warm Thursday, Friday, Saturday. The heat warning could be extended but beyond Wednesday. And then the weekend, Sunday, well, Saturday's sunny and then Sunday cloudy. We could see some showers and temperatures dropping down to about 25 to 26 degrees this time next week. Let's look at your weather. Good night.
Yeah, Gary, temperatures dropping would be really appreciated. Well, finally for us tonight, the Perseid meteor shower is making its regular return with the peak happening earlier this evening.
This particular meteor shower is known for some larger pieces that can be very spectacular and bring a very bright light as they break up and disintegrate in the atmosphere.
I would definitely recommend to look regardless of the brightness of the sky or even if it's a little bit smoky, because it's such a bright shower. You are more likely to see the really bright streaks that, like, you can see them with quite a bit of light pollution around.
The best time to look up tonight was between 8:30 and 10:30 as the moon is near peak brightness, obscuring the display somewhat. However, the meteor shower is so fantastic, as you heard there, with up to 100 meteors an hour racing across the night sky, you may still catch some tails even in the city. Of course, dark skies are best to catch the annual shower caused by debris from the comet Swift-Tuttle, which last passed in 1992. And if you want to get up really early, maybe just pre-dawn, you might get another good chance to see that shower in action. Well, that is our time tonight, end of our action this evening. We'll see you again tomorrow at 6. Until then, I'm Ricardo, Veneza, and for everyone here at CTV on both sides of the camera, have a great night.